Hey guys, welcome to our Keynotes. In this video, I'm going to talk about a result set. Result set is an interface. We call it as a cursor which points to a row. So basically, this result set helps us to display the information or a table information from the MySQL database to your front end. That means your NetBeans application. So how it is going to display? It will keep moving the cursors forward so that it will display row by row. So here we are going to understand two things today, that this result set is basically by default, it is forward only. Can you see this? Yeah. Uh, it is type underscore forward underscore only. So means we call it as, there are three types. Basically it is forward only is the default one. Fine. And if you want to make a scroll, which means if you want to move around the records, for example, you want to display the first record and then you want to display the last record and you want to display any record in between the first and last, then you can use this scroll, either scroll insensitive or it's scroll sensitive. Scroll insensitive in the sense, even though if you do any changes, it will not, affect. And then here you can do the changes and then the changes will be reflected in this when you scroll. Fine. So now I'm just going to show you a demo, like using this scroll insensitive. And then we have two modes here. That is, either you can keep it as read only. So it supports concurrent read only or concurrent update table. So if you want to update a particular information, then you should use concurrent update table. Or you want to scroll, but you want to see only in read only mode, then you can set this. So here read only mode is default. And then here forward only is the default one. All right. So now, until now, we have seen the statement, and inside the statement, we don't specify anything. But now, if you want to scroll, means if you want to move the cursor between rows, then you should say that result set dot type scroll insensitive, and then result set dot concurrent update table. All right, and then so that we can move the object forward and backward. Right. So the key point over here is result set is basically a cursor which points to the row, and then it will always move forward. Fine. If you want to move back or forward and backward both, then you should use this scroll insensitive or sensitive along with this concurrent update table or read only mode. Fine. So let's dive into the demo. Before that, let me just show you few methods. So these are all the methods for result set. Even for row set, the methods are same. So if you want to move next, you can use next method for previous, and then first, last, absolute. You can specify any row number over here, and then it can move accordingly. Similarly, we have the other methods. Okay, so mostly we'll be using next method by default. And now I'm going to explore few of these methods like previous, first, and last, and absolute methods I'm going to use in my demo code. Fine. So let's dive into the demo. Uh, okay. So before that, I'll just show you my database and table. So I'm going to use this statements database, and then my table name is student. So I have clicked on student table, and you can see that there are three columns and there are 8 records. Okay. Now moving to the NetBeans. So again, I'm going to use the SQL package. Fine. So simply you can write as import java.sql.star, and I'm going to use a scanner. So to accept input from user. If not, you can skip this step, right? And there is a class name inside the main method. I'm using throws exception. So here you can see that I have the class name over here. Fine. And I'm using the class of, dot for name to registering the driver. And I have the connection interface with all these um, database name and my username, and then password is mentioned in that. Now, this line is important for us, line number 28. In statement, using statement interface, I'm specifying the result set is type scroll insensitive. So whenever you place a dot over here, it is going to show you all all of the methods available. As I said that I'm going to use type scroll insensitive. And then for over here, result set dot concurrent. So I'm going to use concurrent read only as of now. So, and then you can see that there is update table, forward, reverse, and other options are available. Okay, now I'm going to use select statement because I want to store the entire table or data in my result set, and then I need to move forward and backward. Remember that we are going to you perform scrolling, means either you can say first, last, or absolute. You can specify any value, so it will display that value for you. Means the cursor is going to move forward and backward. All right. So here first I'm saying rs.next, which means we know that if you use next, it will keep on moving forward. And I'm displaying the first column and the second column. Remember that we have three columns in our table. So it's up to you to display one or two or three columns, right? And you see here, the first method, result set dot first. And then I'm just displaying first record, and I'm going to, out of three columns, I'm going to display only two columns. Fine. And if I say absolute, and I can specify any value in it, so now it should display third record for me. Means it is going to display again the first two columns for me. I'm just going to change these methods, right? rs.last, of course, it is going to display the last record. And this is relative. Like you can specify the values in terms of in this way, like -1. So means that it is going to from the last. So here your cursor is set it. Set means your cursor is focusing the last record, and then from there you are saying -1. So means it will jump the last previous record and then it should display, right? So this is the entire thing. I didn't use all of the methods, but I have used one, two, three, four, and five methods for the demo. And of course, I'll show you how to use this previous. So let me run this, and then let's compare this output with the table which we have over here. So let me bring the table here, and this is my NetBeans output which I have got. You can see that. So first is a select statement, and so that it is displaying all the records, all the 8 records which are there here from the table. All right. Now I'm saying first record. I used first method, so it is displaying the first record for me. Yes, it is correct. And the third record is enrollment number is 54, right? And it is displaying the third record for me. I used last method, so the last record is this one, so it is displaying. Then from the last, after displaying the last record, I said -1. This is the last record. When you say -1, it is printing this particular record. That means 99. Fine. So now let me just do one small change over there in my code. So I'm just removing this comment line. So after displaying the last record, I'm saying previous. Fine. Which means it goes to the previous record. That means from the last previous record, 99. And then again, I'm saying that result set -1. From there, it should -1 again, means it should go to the previous one again. So now the answer should be 678, right? So let's run and see the output, what it is going to print. Yeah, exactly. It is printing the same for us. So the result set, the cursor is focusing in the last, in this point. And then after this, I'm saying previous means my cursor will move like backward from the last record. And then again, I'm saying relative -1. And then again, it will move one step backward. And then it is showing me this particular record. Now, what if I want to accept some dynamic input and then I want to, move around based on my inputs? So for that, what I have done in the code is I've done a small change here. What if I want to accept input from user and then I want to move forward and backward accordingly? So let me just uh, explain this particular code for you. I have just added this piece of code. Yeah. Now, using scanner, I'm creating the scanner object, that it comes from util, and I have a while. So I'm asking user to, accept some input. So enter row number. So the user is going to enter a particular row number. I'm just passing that row number into this absolute method. We know what is absolute. You can specify the values, and it, you know, points the cursor according to that particular value. Means it points to the row. Now I'm using one method like read student info. This is nothing. If you want to just display these, I mean, if you want to use a simple system dot or println over here, yes, you can go for. But what I did here is that I'm going to accept the position number, and I'm using result set here, and I'm I'm passing the three columns which I want to print, but basically I'm just printing two. Fine here. So here I'm using three variables: name, ID, name, and city. And then I'm considering like based on the data types, I'm considering like string, integer, and all. So I'm just passing this method into, I mean, I'm just using the method, and then if the particular row is available, it is going to say yes, it is available in the result set. And then if it is not, and then it is going to say that there is no such row available. So I'm just going to run this, and you can see that now it is asking for enter row. Now I can enter any of the row. Let me say 5, and it is going to print that fifth record, including. Earlier, we have printed only two columns, right? Like enrollment number and name. Now I'm printing with the city. Do remember that I have added an extra variable over there. And now just check it out. What is the fifth record? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth record is this 75, and it is printing exactly the same for us. Now I can move something like this. I can say even number 2, and it goes to number 2, and it is printing the second row for me. Fine. And what if I say 99? 99, 99 row is not available. So it should say that there is no student at row 99. That's it. So this is how we can perform, or we can scroll the result set using the two methods which we have done. That is type scroll insensitive and concurrent read only. Fine. So I hope that you got some idea about this. In the next video, we will explore row set. Let me just give a glimpse of that row set. Row set is by default updatable and scrollable. You see, in result set, we have to mention this. I need to scroll, and it should be insensitive, and I need to do concurrent read only, something like that. We have to specify. But by default, row set is scrollable and updatable, which means that we don't want to specify these kind of things. We can simply use these methods, and then we can directly move our cursor forward and backward. That's what we're going to explore in the next video. So keep checking that. If you like this video, hit the like button. Do comment if you have any queries. Thank you, and thanks for watching the video.